This is the Southern Cross Series number 3, the finals. Finally, last night actually we did have the first 4 rounds or so. So we have now come to the finals. This is on Friday. It's going to be awesome. We have dtay here spawning in the top left hand corner on Delta Quadrant as the blue Protoss player, and in the bottom left hand corner we have deth as the red Terran. Both these players coming through to the finals, obviously very good players, beating some quite good opponents to get here, like names like Rafallen and Roz were beaten to get here, and they are, very good players. So we'll see what these guys can pull out in this best of 5 series, as we see deth going and doing his supply depot at the ramp. We saw him do this quite a lot last night. He loves to put 2 depots at the top of the ramp here, which gives a smaller choke and which he can then bunker off if he needs to. He'll build his barracks further back unless he's going to completely change his strategy for this map. We'll have to wait and see. A fairly quick probe here by dtay, just going to do a bit of harassment, having a bit of a check, make sure this barracks is built in this base and not somewhere like proxied around the map, which could lead to an early loss if not scattered. Should see the barracks go down by this SCV here. There it goes right now, a bit further back. So he looks like he's doing a similar thing he did last night. Actually, deth last night in his games went very heavy on banshees. Now you might think, oh, sort of like cute, like banshees, just like harassment. No, he actually used them in his army. He got them upgraded. He'd use them with marines, with medevacs, even threw a raven in there for detection and a point defense drone, and it did very well. Banshee's doing quite a lot of damage, and when they are cloaked, forces you to get detection in your army, which is quite hard as Protoss because observers can get picked off, especially with the Raven there. Just checking over here at dtay's base, he is getting his gateway, 2 pylons, and an assimilator. We just have to wait for the cybernetics core to finish before we kind of see what he's doing. I don't think deth is actually scouted yet. No, he doesn't know his opponent is yet, so this SCV here quite late for the scout, but it's going to head straight towards his opponent. You either saw it come in from that direction, or he's just getting lucky. So this probe here, just running around, this marine that's coming out now should kill it, and from there we can probably see his tech path of choice. He hasn't got this second gas yet, which is kind of the sign that he is going for Banshee. He might be waiting for this probe to get killed off. Did he actually cancel that add-on he put on that for the extra marine? What did he scout up here? Didn't scout much at all, so I don't know, maybe he just made a small mistake, but still. This probe here, still in the base, about to get killed off. There it goes. So now we should see deth see what kind of tech he's going to do now, or maybe just go on 1 barracks. Here comes the second barracks, and a reactor. So it might be a very heavy marine all-in, or it could just be going for like a good bio army early on, and maybe getting banshees later, or not even getting banshees at all. Scouting up here, this stalker will come out to deny this SCV. I'm curious, I think this drone, probe here, mining down here, might be used to make a nexus, maybe to fast expand. I don't know if it's that good on this map because that bottom natural is very open. It's quite hard to defend from harassment, and even if you can defend it, the opponent can still just run into your main. They are quite separated bases, and this ramp is quite small and far away from the natural. We'll have to wait and see what these guys do. Command center coming down here from deth, so looking to expand early. That's always good. If you can hold off the early pushes, getting ahead in the macro game is awesome, but looks like dtay has the same idea, and they are both expanding fairly quickly in this game. As a stalker and a zealot walk up this ramp here, he only has a bunch of marines, maybe some SCVs forward to hold this. He might need it, he might not. He might need a bunker there, because he can always sell that later if he has the money. Looking like he's going to do that. Yeah, the bunker's going up now just for added protection. He can sell that later on, so unless he absolutely desperately needs those minerals right now, it's not much of a loss. It's just always better to be safe, especially when you're in the finals. You do not want to go a game down this early. dtay just having a look around with these units, nothing really crazy. Have a look at his tech. Just one, so he's got 2 gate robo going up. Robo is also very safe because it allows you to get the observer, so you don't get caught out by cloak banshees, which could happen because dtay has done it last night. Obviously, sorry, deth did it last night. So dtay might have been watching the stream, or might have been watching replays and seen that, so he's being safe. But with the observer, you can get and scout your opponent's base and see exactly what he's doing. It's always very safe, and you can also get on mortals, which do very well with marauders in early bio pushes. 3rd gateway going down, so this is a 3-gate robo and an expansion. This expansion is now up. This one here is getting the orbital command. It'll drop a mule and then it will go and land at one of the bases. I'm not sure which one yet, probably this back one, seeing as his marines and his marauder are going to be killing those rocks. But we'll just keep an eye on that. Might be looking to expand a second time, but who knows. Probe here just taking this middle tower. This tower here is quite important for this map because it lets you control like a lot of sight, especially cross positions. When you're in side positions, you can still kind of run down this way and get to your opponent and not get scattered out. This probe is going forward here. I'm not going to see much. The other thing about this map is Protoss can spawn a pylon here and warp stuff over the gap, so Terra needs to be aware of that. Building a supply depot here gives you enough sight to be able to see that if you choose to do that. Looking back at the Protoss base, nothing really much going on. He's still getting a few gateway units up. He's building a pylon back here, whether that's just so he can keep an eye out on something or he wants to hide tech there. We'll have to wait and see. But he's on 2 base now, so he should look at he gets like either some tech up or looking at getting some more gateways or something like that once that income starts kicking in. Both players playing a very good macro game now, so we see a starport come up. Dare I say he might be going for Banshees again. He did work quite well for him last night. You actually see him drop a supply depot down here on top of this one here, so falling a bit behind on his supply depots, which is a bit small error because you do get more minerals from dropping a mule, but obviously you do not want to be supply capped for long because you can fall behind the macro game. As we see these armies out here just sort of glance each other off, and Protoss is running away. He only has the 1 sentry in there so far, so he can only get a couple of force fields down, 100 energy, so he can only get 2 force fields. Might help, depends how he uses them, but I wouldn't be content moving into that, especially with some marauders there that do quite good damage. Observer is in the base, so he can see exactly what's going on now. He is obviously using the factory to create a tech lab for the starport, so dare I say we'll probably see Banshees. Maybe a Raven first. He did that last night. He did quite good. Yes, he's going for that Raven. No, straight for Banshee. He cancelled the Raven. These units are starting to move forward now. Might be looking to push now. It is pretty good time. Gateway units are starting to get up. He might want to pylon up here to reinforce. He does not have a probe though. Just having a look. This ramp, he doesn't want to fight on this. Force field's out though. Pins some units back here. In fact, he's going to get a lot of damage back here. And pulls away, so kills some units at the front, runs away, doesn't lose that much. That's a good engagement for the Protoss, also forces a stim, so all the Terran units taking a decent amount of damage, and no medevac to heal it yet, so one medevac's starting to build now, so he needs to get these medevacs out quickly if he wants to keep stimming. Otherwise the Protoss can keep moving forward, force fielding, picking off a few units and forcing stims, and they'll get into the red to the point where basically anything will one-shot it. Getting Twilight Council and Zealot Legs now. Zealot Legs very good against bio armies of Terran, so it's always a good upgrade to get. Getting 2 more gateways down here, just checking production tabs, so I'm not missing anything. Cloak is being researched by the Terran player, as well as Terran Ship Weapons 1. Now, last night in one of the games against, he actually killed that Observer, as he scanned it, probably looking at a drop as well. Maybe not, we'll see. But last night he did get double armory and got his ship weapons very aggressively and ended up 3-3 Banshees, and they were very strong. Like he pull the army out of the base and go into the back, and he just like 3-shot with all these Banshees tech buildings. We're talking like Templar archives, robotics bays, that kind of stuff, and it worked really, really well. See if he can do that again today. Like if the game goes on too long, I have no doubt he'll get those upgrades up. But they might get shut. That tech could get shut down. Phoenixes do obviously quite well against Banshees. Obviously High Templars do as well, but I reckon going Colossus would be stronger. Regardless, High Templars are out. Feedback is quite good on Banshees. He did lose a lot of Banshees last night. This is deth. He did lose a lot of Banshees to feedback last night, but he did learn later in the game. He was cloaking just randomly, as I need to set myself too busy. Utter fail, my bad. So having a look at these bases now. So it looks like just 6 gate up now. He has the Templar archives. Has he got Storm? He is currently boosting Storm out. I dare say you don't want to engage until you get that Storm done. He's about half done now, but he is moving forward. So maybe just checking for this expansion. You don't want to get your 3rd and not be able to defend it, obviously. But if you are going for your 3rd and your opponent already, or if your opponent already has a 3rd up for a long time, it's fully harvested, you're going to be behind. We have 3 Banshees up now. Cloak is done, but there are feedback Templars there. There is an Observer as well, so we can detect. How many Templars are there in here? Just 2. So really not going to do that much. As he engages, let's see what he can do here. Not just pulling back, doing a bit of poking. He's scanning. Oh, and some High Templars just pick off 2 Banshees there with feedback. Obviously those ones were quite high on energy. Did we see... I saw another feedback on this Banshee here. Unfortunately, didn't have enough energy to kill it, and he does pick off that that last High Templar. Is he going to run away here? He only has 5 Stalkers and an Immortal. He's going to stim and try and catch that Immortal. He probably will get that. Yep. So that's pretty good. I reckon Deth came out on top there. Would like to see him. He's actually starting to get his third up now, which is awesome. Terran being able to build on your base is so safe. Protoss, big drop coming straight over the top here. Sorry, I wasn't able to see that. He's warping in Stalkers to the back. He's going to drop and most likely kill. He does not have any Marauders in there, but should be enough. He was targeting the dropship for a bit. That's a good drop. Kills a few Stalkers and backs away. So 3 kills, doesn't lose much there. Factory flying over to scout here now. Doesn't want to lose that factory, otherwise he can't build starports. Obviously a tech structure without building back the factory. Third is going down now, so third is a little bit behind Deth here. Deth will have a slight advantage once this starts kicking in, which should be soon, especially with mules being dropped. He is also getting an orbital command here as well, so 3 orbitals, that's 3 mules, not going for the planetary there. So obviously confident he can defend it without it, so that'll give him a significant income boost. Main's now starting to get mined out, so this player's taking thirds sort of at a decent time. I reckon this one, dtay might have been a bit slower. Probably could have done that as he moved out with his army, but here comes the second army now. He has 4 High Templar in this army. Let's just check the units. 13 Zealots, 11 Stalkers, 5 High Templar. He also has 3 Observers in the field. 2 of them are in this army, so definitely worried about getting those sniped and losing to Cloak Banshees. As they come in now, they are cloaked now preemptively, and he does charge in, lose a few. Storm's going down. Storm's very devastating against Marines. Marines not having much health. And as Zealots coming to clean up, basically everything's dead. SCVs are coming out to try and clean up here, and I think Deth might be in a bit of trouble here. dtay with a very strong gateway push here. Those Storms doing enormous damage to those SCVs, and this bottom base is going to get completely cleaned up. I don't know if he's going to be able to get enough out to be able to hold this off totally. It might even just win the game. He has taken that off, and Deth is in a very tough position here. I don't know how he can come back from this. He needs a round of units, possibly needs to kill these observers, but obviously has nothing to scan for it yet. He is losing Banshees, and I think that will be game. I don't think he can come back from this. He has scanned, looking for these 3 observers here actually, but obviously has nothing to attack them with. dtay should take this game now. I don't see how he can come back. There's 1 Cloaked Banshee up, 2 Banshees out now, but there are 3 observers, and there are a lot of Stalkers here. He has no hope of killing all this detection as he runs away. He's taking enormous damage now. If he starts killing tech structures and building structures, he's actually going to aim for this orbital command here. It is burning, possibly burned down. He's going to this third base here. SCV is coming out to try and save it. They are actually harvesting and moving through it. That's what basically, if you're harvesting the other side of it, you can move straight through it, and GG, Deth loses the first game. dtay going 1 up in this best of 5. So stay tuned and we'll get into the second game hopefully very quickly.